Going on, car guys and car gals, and all you solutionaries out there? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy,
and it's Fred Lenartz, the subprime hero.
And check out who's over here with us on Fixed Ops Friday, the one, the only, Brad Pasco. What's going on,
guys?
Oh, man, we got a great show for them today. I know he said he wanted me to introduce him, but, man, I'm going to go ahead and just give you the honors because this is somebody that's for a long time. I almost said his name. This guy is an amazing guy. We just had a little bit of a conversation before we started the show today, and I laughed at least 3 times, belly busted laugh. This guy's great. He's got some great stories, but most importantly, he is all about fixed ops, and he's going to come in here and he's going to give us some great information. So all you out there, start sharing this around. Get it out there, Lou. Tell them how to do it.
You know what to do. Tag a car guy.
You know the deal.
Tag a car gal.
Tag them.
And share around. It is time for us to have a Fixed Ops Friday, and let's talk about really brewing solutions inside of the fixed ops sector of the business, which is so huge and so much access to information is coming at you so fast. We want to make sure that we do filter it out and give you the good stuff in your cup for you to go ahead and sip up on this fabulous Friday. So let's go ahead and get this rocking. Brad, you got to do what you got to do and get this guy up in here. Go ahead and get everybody percolating with the positivity on our incredible guest today.
All right, so this guy's title is almost as long as his beard. His title is Vice President of Fixed Operations and Income Development for the Foundation Auto Corporation.
Hey.
His name is Justin Pomeroy. He's a good friend of mine. We actually work with these guys, but him and his team has done a fantastic job over at Foundation. They continually growing, continually pushing the envelope when it comes to fixed operations. So welcome, Justin, to the show.
Hey, there we go. I think you did a really great job.
That was fantastic.
Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being in here. So let us do just a quick moment of introducing you all to the one, the only, Justin Pomeroy.
That's right. What's up,
Welcome
man?
to the party.
Hey, dude, it's great to have you here, man. One thing I know is that you know all about making a good foundation. So let's go. Let's talk about foundation. Let's talk about, he saw what I did there. Let's talk about some greatness. Let's talk about growth. Let's talk about all kinds of stuff. Let's talk about change. What have you seen? I just got to throw this out there. What have you seen in fixed ops over the last handful of years that has been the biggest change to occur?
Vehicles are in a large shortage. People are repairing rather than replacing. Used cars are all-time high, which is appearing to start to change as allocation comes back. But we've had huge gross months in fixed operations and making sure that you're present in your marketplace, SEO, SEM, and getting your name out there in front of these people, because they've got to find a place for, their vehicle to be fixed, because it's in a lot of cases just too expensive to go get a new one, right?
Yep.
So started with this group, I think around 10 stores, and we just closed our 35th deal 2 weeks ago in Jones, Tennessee, Savannah and Jackson area. So we're excited to have those guys on our team, excited to get to know them, be a part of their family as much as that they get to be a part of ours, and then instill some greatness in them and then learn something from them just as well. Really exciting place to be. I'm from Louisiana, so down south is home.
Hey.
Live in Texas, and those guys just have everything's yes, sir, yes, ma'am. They carry that good Southern draw, and it's just a good people to be around.
Dude, awesome. That's right. So I saw that in the profiles. Go Tigers, right? Spelled with the GEAUX, right? That's what I'm talking about. Tigers. And that's a big deal. We go down to Louisiana quite a bit. We love the area. I love the food. I love the culture. And like you said, there's such that Southern gentleman, Southern lifestyle. I love that Sir Melm, open doors for each other. We're from Kentucky, so we kind of have that. But down there, it's something I think it's even more special, I have to say. And I love Kentucky, but there's something unique about your area. And I always have a great time coming down that way. But man, Texas is great too, though.
Love some Texas. Lots of things out there. But excited about those of you that are joining us right now as we are live. And if you're catching this on the replay, all good. Make sure that you make sure of giving good encouragement to Justin, to Brad, Fred, to myself, just about us over here trying to brew solutions for you all to consume and figure out how to make this business better. But let's give a shout out real quick. Timothy Wilson, what's happening, brother? Welcome to the PARTY. We're glad that you're here. Eric Hall, what's happening, my friend? We are so excited that you all are jumping in with us. Chris, what's happening? Chris dropping out that boom. And Tim says he was just over at the stores, at one of your stores over in Texas with Eric and Kara as they did that boot camp. That's good stuff. And
yeah,
I'm
man.
sure that there was a lot of good stuff that came out
Shout
of
out to Henson Brand over there. They're part of the Foundation group too. And man, they do some amazing things. And what Eric and Kara were doing there was fantastic for automotive, but fantastic for any business, just to see how that they can get better on social, because they are definitely doing something different and making a lot of things change and doing things great with it. So it's exciting to see. We also got Kaylee Filio.
Kaylee,
she'll be on the show, folks. Be watching out for her show coming up here in the next 30 days or so. She'll be on with us. It's going to be a great one. So Kaylee, that's right. Parts
and another
girl.
lady inside of the cafe. Welcome to the show, Angela.
Angela Willoughby. What's up? How you doing? Appreciate you for being here today too. I love this. We got a lot of LinkedIn folks. LinkedIn's my favorite stream force. I love you all out there in LinkedIn. That's such a great place. I love LinkedIn because it really is where I got my confidence to be where I'm at today. So all you all out on LinkedIn, keep going out there, keep sharing and keep growing. So man, great stuff. And you brought a good point there, Justin. I love what you talked about. People are holding on to their vehicles longer than ever, and they're really trying to, make them last longer, right? And by having good service and having a service department that can do that, a lot of people get a little construed. They think that they get better deals if they go to like the Valvolines out there and all those types of places. What about coming to a new car dealership right now, a franchise store? Is it the benefit of coming there over going to with vehicles that are, let's say, 10 years old, right? What's the benefit of coming to a franchise store over going to like a little corner like Valvoline or Pennzoil or something like that?
Sure. As the automotive industry is, we started the industry and we've done a really good job at allowing people to defect and go to these independent facilities and allow them to service their vehicle elsewhere. I want all that business. Everybody that comes to me, I want your mom, I want your grandmother, I want your child when they become of age. Like, give me everyone, all makes, all models. I don't care what it is. If I find a need to facilitate a part, I'll stock that. But yeah, no, we've done a really good job at allowing people to go. I mean, it's not by happenstance that they put Jiffy Lubes outside of a dealership or a discount tire out of a dealership, because they know we're not trying to, appease these people in the masses. And
sure,
it's the common misconception is that the dealership, and maybe not a misconception, but at one point in time we were grossly overpriced comparably to the independents. But in this day and age, if you're not doing a dead cost, break even oil change, tire rotation, and get these people in your stores, you're allowing other people to just come into your market and your P&As and take your business from you.
100%. And I think that when the beautiful part is that we all want people to start coming to our stores and getting there. And and not to plug, but there's a great company out there called the Fixed Ops Digital, and they have a great tools
out there
to help market to your customers, be able to show them the deals that you have. Because I think that there's a lot of customers out there don't know that dealers can do everything. Like literally, we have tires, we have parts, we have wheels, aftermarket. Whatever you want, we can provide all that type of stuff, but we have to let them know. One thing that I love about Fixed Ops Digital is that they have tools that help people know what you have. I'm assuming that you guys use Fixed Ops Digital. Am I right?
Every store.
That's
what I'm talking about.
Heck yeah. And you guys no wonder you guys are growing the way you are, right? There's no doubt about it. And, I'm not just shouting out because they are a sponsor, but I'm shouting out because I've seen their product. I also know the people that are using it, and I hear the testimonials. They're fantastic. When you have as many stores as you have and you have them throughout, you know that it's a great product. What about the product similar to theirs, if not theirs, right? We'll talk about theirs, but what about having products like that help you guys grow in the Fixed Ops department?
Well, I mean, you always try to, give everybody the best shadow of a doubt and stuff. And they've just done a great job with keeping up with us as a customer, as a consumer on a digital platform. And so we have calls monthly, weekly, if needed, to review process and review things that are, on our websites. If we look at something, hey, you're not getting any involvement on this, we can change that on the fly, and we can, they're just really participatory. It's not like, hey, but come up and we're going to set you up and then we're going to go away and you guys are on our program and you should be happy with it. And so that constant involvement and touch with, account success managers, I guess you would call them, and making sure that, we're always happy. And it's not quantity over quality is I think, honestly, the biggest point to Fixed Ops Digital.
It's good stuff.
And he texts me at 11 o'clock at night. Let's just be honest right now. That's nice,
bro.
What if we did that? And you're like, okay. So I think, the biggest thing is,
love it.
I appreciate the plug from you guys. And actually, we got another girl that wants to say hi real quick. So
She's cuter than you are, Brad.
Oh, she is way cuter than Brad.
Way cuter than Brad. You get the whole screen.
So,
there we go.
Penny wants to say hi real quick.
Hello,
Penny.
But you know, the biggest thing that we try to do is just be there and have those conversations. And even if it's a tough conversation, let's say it's a tough conversation. We just had one recently with the client. We had a tough conversation where the owner pulled the plug on marketing across the budget or across the whole store. And so we have these tough conversations and we say, all right, you know, we look at things like, hey, sometimes when there's a problem that comes up, it's an opportunity to build a better relationship. Right. So I'll give you example of something that Justin said of experience that I had today. So I need tires on my truck. So I call
Foundation stores.
I don't have any Foundation stores close. the only one that's close is Wichita.
I'm pulling budget for marketing across the group.
All right. Fair enough. So I need tires on my truck. So I call my local dealership that handles my OEM, right? And they're like, no, we can't get those. And then I called the second, there's two in town. And I called the second one and said, hey, can I, and no, we can't get those. We can't get you in for a while. And so it's like, I'm trying to buy a full set of BF Goodrich all-terrain.
TAKO2s? I think I have some of those in stock.
Yeah, I bet you do. I might be driving to Wichita Falls is what it sounds like now. But you see, this is the point right here. Do you see his attitude towards that? Where he's like, he doesn't care that I'm going to have to drive 6 hours to go round trip.
Get you to dinner.
Everybody's business and dealerships. Dealerships don't think like that, right? Most dealerships don't think like that. Now, if it was a car deal, what would they do? If it was a car deal, they would be like, oh, drive over here. Let's come get back when we had inventory. And so we have to take that perspective we have on the sell side and apply it to the service side. And I think that's what Justin does really well at Foundation. And that bleeds down into all the stores that he's over.
Well, it's at the end of the day, you know, we always celebrate and I consider us like the blockers and tacklers and fixed operations. And you've got your wide receivers and running backs up front, you know, selling cars and, you know, doing 40 cars a month. But we're going to pull the budget for fixed operations in a time and place and period where we don't have cars to sell. You're going to put more marketing into something that you can't even provide to the consumer. You know, you're right now. I feel like if you're not hinging pretty strongly on fixed operations and having them help cover the expenses of the dealership, you know, you might be looking in the wrong area. So I think in a time where for fixed operations is going to be very beneficial to a dealership, and that, you know, we're still carrying high grosses and the supply is higher than or lower than the demand. So you can still kind of name your price, but it's going to be not too far down the road that we're going to really need to make sure that fixed operations is running smoothly and that you have them pumping on all cylinders.
So good that one, we have the conversation between two people that obviously have a good communication flow amongst them. But I want to kind of throw this question out there because not everybody has that. And the thing is that Justin, you've probably seen inside of your store and your organization that depending on the vendor, depending on the product, very seldom do you have the opportunity to have an idea that actually influences how that product works, not just in your store, but works, right? What is it like to be able to have a vendor or have a product or have a tool inside of your store that you can actually modify to your business?
Yeah. And I mean, we give a lot of autonomy in all the stores. Like we've acquired certain rooftops that have been under big, you know, name dealer groups, and they're just like, we've never done any of this stuff. I was like, I want to give you that autonomy. If you have, you know, creative ideas that you want to put on paper that you've never been allowed to do, like, how does it feel for, you know, a manager to have some say in their business? Like we treat each piece of our business as its own individual profit center. And so there's, you know, if I have a service manager that has these great ideas, I'm not going to, you know, withhold those or make them, you know, take them and dream about them. I think if they want to do something in their department, we'll try it, and we're going to fail sometimes and we're going to be successful sometimes, but giving them autonomy and having you know, a group that like Fixed Ops Digital that will I can't make every call. I'm over 35 stores. I try to be on every one of them, but like, I don't have to really worry about it because Brad and his team, if they're like, hey, these guys want to run something, but I really don't know if that's a good idea or it might be not working, so we might need to look at it and tweak some things. They'll send that out to me and I can, either get ahead of it or be participatory if there's something that needs to be edited or moved. But they know their guidelines. We don't want to give away the house, but we do want to give a good product and on a fair price and, and incentivize our customers that are coming and have been. That's another thing. Like all your customers, you're spending $600, $700 a customer to go get them from, 700 miles away. What about the people that have been doing business with you for a long time? Why don't they get their fair shake of the coupon? We want to give away the house to get somebody out of a different P&A. But we won't take care of the people that have been in our stores for a long time.
Yeah.
That's so true.
That's super true. We ran a beta test campaign recently for a store where we did some dynamic Amazon advertising, and we spent $2,000 because generally fixed ops departments that's what they spend. Around $2,000 is,
yeah.
And so we redid $2,000. And our initial results came back 98 ROs, and for $30,000. And I didn't really like the numbers because fixed ops is different than sales, right? Sales, you could be like, okay, we got this much ROI, but fixed ops, some of those were customers, some of those were conquests, some of those were conquests, and then some of those were defected people, right? So we split it out. And we figured out 12 conquest customers for $4,000, 20 or 15 defected for $5,000. So the real true ROI of that campaign was 4.5 times your money. Which, if you could do that, that's
always good, right?
So that's some of the stuff that we're looking at because we have the problem that we have on the fixed up side of stuff right now on most websites is that they have zero foundation. Right? They have no foundation. They have no pages. They don't tell all of the services that they do. They don't even put pricing on the specials. And so it's all foundational stuff. If you think of that, go on a new car and it didn't have a price and it didn't have a photo and it didn't have a way that you could contact somebody, and it asked you to save print the coupon or print the page out, what would you do? That's what most service pages look like. Is it says print coupon. Well, you don't print the VDP out and take it in to buy a car, right? So we have to change the way we look at things on the service side, and our goal is to kind of be able to advertise in all of the different real estate locations as far as Google, Amazon, Facebook, all of those different places, and be able to do that dynamically, right? Where we don't have to create creative every single time, where it can pull straight off your website to those places. And so that's what we're working towards, is to try to even the playing field a little bit on the service side of stuff, because we can't compete with 50 Jiffy Loops, right? They're going to beat us on proximity when people are searching. But what we can do is we can compete if we're smarter and we do things more efficiently and we advertise smarter and things like that and set those things up. And then the other way that we have to compete, and this is what Justin's really good at, is on technician and retention and getting good people in the shops that do a good job. And that's what Justin's really, really good at.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, that's what we do on a lot of our service drives too. You walk on service drives sometimes, and there's no plastic test batteries outside. There's no wiper blade containers, and so just as empty as your landing page is, so is your service drive. So you have customers walking in like, I need this, and this. I'm gonna go get my tires from discount. Why would you want to make two separate appointments to go get your tires rotated over there and then come over here an hour later and, there goes half your day. You've got 4.5 hours spent between two different locations when you could have a one-stop solution for that. And the problem is we don't teach them. We don't tell them that we have tires and that we have a low price guarantee and that we have road hazard that will be the, independence. And we do a poor job of presenting all of our cards. And without that on your website, without that on your service drive, without the rubber, on the hangers, it's, who's going to tell them you got a single point of failure as a human being, depending on an advisor that they're going to try to sell everything that you got.
And that's usually the only exposure that most customers get, is that conversation with the advisor that to them turns into so much more of a sales pitch, when especially on the advisor side. And I'll even, we'll take the hit on the chin for it, car guys and car gals on the sales side, is that they're genuinely all about your car working right and only making recommendations that they truly believe are going to be best for you. That's not always the case in sales. Usually it's the best for our goal in a lot of cases, right? And it's, I have to move this unit, we got to make the transaction happen. But when there is a printout in front of you of the things that are actually wrong with your car or going to bring up a problem, that there's a responsibility, of course, a charge that writer has to give you the information. And so often it's bam, 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 bam. I only came in for the oil change. Or I only wanted the tires. Or I just wanted to check this one part out and see if I can get this fixed. And they're barraged with all of this information they can't possibly compute quick enough. And then that's their experience, only because we didn't slowly drip into their cup more information about how we can help them. And that's critical that does happen. I love that you said that.
I think one disclaimer we have to make, that those are the views of Lou Ramirez and not Justin or Brad. So just in case the hate mail comes in, I don't want I got enough 11 o'clock at night phone calls. But no, I think that's spot on, man. It's all about selling safety, right? And it's about talking at things in levels of safety. And our friend and fellow Cajun Damian Boudreaux says it best, where it's like, when you drive off the lot, your mama could drive that car, right? Mm-hmm. Your mom. And so if you think about it like that, and you think about it like, hey, I'm making sure that this is safe for this person, and you talk about things in levels of safety, it makes it a much easier conversation, and people are way more successful. Because let's be honest, service advisors don't like salespeople. They don't normally like salespeople because they're gross and they're ucky, and they don't want to be a salesperson. So if you talk about it in levels of safety, that's a way to make them feel confident in discussing that kind of stuff.
I always love that, getting a customer in from a Jiffy Lube or a Be Quick or something like that, and you have that person come in for the first time and get a multi-point inspection, a true multi-point inspection on their vehicle, not just like, hey, you need some wiper blades, that's it. That person's always either mad or wowed by the thoroughness, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's a conversation to overcome one way or another. Either it's a disbelief that you're trying to find stuff that I've never been told about before, or you're just so good at what you do, I can't believe I've never been here up until now. And people are emotional about buying cars. No one's emotional about servicing their vehicle. I haven't in my life, and I don't know a person who's ever gotten excited about going to pull their wallet out to check out of a service department. Unless you're getting a blower put on your freaking Z06 Corvette.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
That's fun, right? However, we do, and the way I've always explained is we have a fiduciary responsibility to make sure that this vehicle leaves here in a better situation than it arrived in. And so we sell to cars, not people.
That's right.
And so, it's my job. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't give you every opportunity to service this as best you possibly could. And you're either a proactive or a reactive person, and just as long as I know how you'd like to maintenance this car going forward, I'll do the bare minimum, or I'll do, everything that it needs.
Absolutely. And there's something in the correlation between the way that the marketing is done that is a great responsibility and a great asset for us, is knowing that we have so many people at the dealership inside of our database. We're sitting on them, and we're not giving them the understanding that we want to take care of them. I love how you pointed that out earlier. We are just like cell phone companies, right? Or anybody else. Come to us, switch. And people want I want a new phone too. What's up with these new people? I want a lower plan too.
Been with you for 20 years. What's that mean?
What's going on? Give me some of that love, right? And we're so much about wanting that newer business that we don't pay attention that we have all of this information and the solution to these people's problem, less expensive and more fun for the customer. They don't have to figure out this new Jiffy Lube place or whatever it is. And of course, we're not against any of those people that are trying to make a good, honest American dollar. What we are saying is that you can be smarter with being able to take care of the people that you have access to and have already helped and want to do business with you. So
this is a good point, because if you see Justin's shirt there, that's a Roosevelt shirt, right? So that company right there is a huge company that does a lot of cool shirts, right? So that's an office.
Oh, wow.
And I have
That's
massive amounts of Roosevelt shirts in my closet here at the house, right? So I probably have 35 of those. Now those shirts are not cheap. They're about $65 a piece, but they do a really, really good job of engaging. They have a Facebook group. They ran SummerSlam trivia last night and gave away shirts on trivia. They have local meetups. They have stuff like that to continually pump up their community, which is what I know Justin has some stuff going on for some charity stuff at one of his stores right now. They're constantly doing things. They just had that social media thing down at the Henson stores. So they're constantly pumping those things up. And the store that I came from did the same thing, constantly pumping up stuff over at Street Volkswagen, Street Toyota. And so I think that's important, is that you tie that kind of stuff in. And the problem that we face with Jiffy Lubes and these places is, how many times do you take a customer through your shop? How many times do you take them in the back and show them all the stuff? Because what happens is when you drive in a Jiffy Lube, they can see everything.
Yep.
And they can see everything. So as many times as possible, when we were at the store I was at, we would run them through and show them everything, all of the stuff that we have, all the technology. What good does it do if they don't understand that we have the latest technology, like way more advanced than what you would have at Jiffy Lube? That's why people like UVI is doing so well, right? Is because it's right there in the drive and you can see it. And so I think that's so important, is that we have to demystify some of that stuff, because once their car goes back there, they have no clue. That's why the technician videos are so hot. That's why text message updates are so hot. That's why stuff like True Spot, where you can have like a Domino's pizza tracker on your car, is super hot right now, is because of transparency. And so that transparency has to be in the store, when you have their vehicle, and online. And when you have those three pieces together, that's when you really win.
Yeah, and I can't wait for it to come back, honestly. And it's been with the monkeypox and the COVID pox and all the pox as of late. The new owners clinics were so huge, and the sales to service handoffs. Like, we used to have, I worked for a group before I came to Foundation, and we would have pizza. We would go through all the cool new features on the vehicles that the owners would show up for. We'd introduce them to the master senior technicians. We'd introduce them to service, all the advisors, let them know, if and when they ever needed to do service, that, this would be a good person for them to contact, and then walk them through the entire dealership, show them everything. Granted, you're gonna have to make sure your back porch is clean and there's not a bunch of stuff lying around, but what a better, trust builder and just a general understanding of your dealership. So when they walk in, they're not looking at the ceiling trying to figure out where they should be.
So good. I love that you're saying that, because one, that makes everybody responsible for taking care of the person that shows up. Sales pro, service advisor, anybody that sees the person, right? Anybody sees somebody that doesn't work there, we're vested into making sure that they have a good experience. And I'm over here just thinking of different ways that sales pros can make sure they do make this more interactive, and they are part of it. I would hate it that sales pros would run from their customer that's coming back to handle some stuff inside of service, that you're not talking to them. You're not even meeting them. How many sales pros are out there? The question is, you may not answer it. You may not have to, but consider how many times the salesperson actually builds a conversation with the person that they sold the car to that's back inside of service. If that's happening, that customer comes back consistently because they are looking forward to that conversation. They're kind of almost expecting to be treated at a certain level. But if it doesn't happen, how likely is that customer to maybe even come back again, whether they are building a relationship in service, right? This is a great opportunity for you sales pros out there to make sure that you are interacting with the service that's occurring on that car, shooting a quick video, letting people know, hey, your car just came out of service. This just got done. It's looking good. We're going to shoot it over here, give you a quick complimentary or cleanup, right? Or wash back, whatever it is that's happening. Those are great opportunities for you sales pros to get that conversation going about how well you are still taking care of your customer's car, because that's ultimately what I believe the customer is investing in in the end is that I'm not just getting this car. You sold me this whole package of this great dealership that can do these great things for me after I buy it.
Yeah.
Where's that at? Right. And we want to make sure we are getting that. So put that in your cup, sales pros.
Yeah.
I think there's a second part to that. So the other part to that is, if I was brand new in sales and I'm going into a dealership, the first people I'm talking to is everybody in the service department, because I want all those referrals, and that's easy business right there. Right. So if you build good relationships with your service department, and you build good relationships with your detail people or your collision center people and all kinds of stuff like that, not only are they going to send you business, but they're going to let you know when your customer shows up. So if you don't check something one day and your customer shows up, they're going to send you a text and let you know, because you're building relationships with those people. And so if you're a sales pro, that's the first place you start is, one of the first places that you start, friends and family, and then the service department, and start building those, because sometimes they don't have people to send things to. And if they know they're going to get a little bird dog for sending somebody over there to you, then they're really going to start sending people. So.
Yeah, I mean, good salespeople, they're in V Auto every day anyway. What a better place to go to see all your service appointments for the day. You can see all your service appointments in V Auto. You can see, oh, that's Miss Such and Such. She's coming back. She's been here 15 times in the past, 2 years. I bet that car is probably well taken care of, and that'd be a great trade to buy, because I've seen everything that's been done on it, and I know it's been serviced every 5,000 miles. And I bet my spend to return that car and flip it's going to be little to nothing. And I mean, it's just you can pull from any source and provide a wow factor that isn't being done down the road. It's not hard to be a little bit better. It's really not.
Yeah, and like you said, a little bit better. 1% a day. Just keep growing and moving. It's fantastic. I love this talk, man. This is great things, because people listen. We tend to do things that we've been doing for a long time and keep saying, oh, we need to keep doing that, when there's so many ways that we can look at it through different lenses and make it better. And what you guys do all the time is you're trying to evolve. And I love that, talking about you a little bit, Justin, going back into the past and talking about where you come from, man. You just told us you're from Louisiana. I know you were in law enforcement for a long time. What about law enforcement, the skills that you learned from there helped you become a leader in doing what you do today?
Man, all I can say is, and I don't know, there was a point in time where a switch flipped, and I've always been a competitive person. I wasn't really, it didn't make me any more money to go out and do things proactive in my community and try to make a difference. As far as, I was in a very, very poor part of town, and there was, a lot of drug trade and whatnot going on. And so I just did it because, it didn't bring me any other value, but I knew I had a lot of friends pass away through high school. And even recently I had, I've had 2 uncles pass away from narcotics abuse. And I just wanted to, go out and get those guys that hurt my family and hurt my friends and ruined so many lives, and it didn't bring me anything other than the mental satisfaction that I was, going out and stopping someone from doing things that I didn't like and that didn't do better to the world and do better, But I got out of that and, got into service. And honestly, taking that and being able to read and relate, because you talk to people every day on the worst day of their life and the best day of their life. And from every walks of life, and being able to read people and talk to people and relate to people of every, the worst and the best, I say the best, there's really, to each his own. There, we're all equals, but I'm really good at reading people. I'm really good at communicating with people. I think from law enforcement, and it's helped me a lot in this role.
No doubt about it, and the confidence it gave you. You became a confident person when you went through the training. You graduated from that training. Confidence was built. When you went out and you booked a couple criminals and you were able to just clean the streets up a little bit, confidence was built. Okay. Through that career, you became more confident. Don't get me wrong. My guess is you were a confident person before, right? But what all that does is just keeps recharging you and also reevaluating and saying, hey, I am. Then you take on this challenge of service. And yes, man, being able to read people is something that definitely being a law enforcement agent or anybody who deals with people in the masses, you have to be able to read them so you can make quick decisions and make good decisions, right? And that's the same thing that we do, whether we're in sales, whether we're in fixed ops, which fixed ops, folks, just so you know, is sales. All right. I just want you guys all to know that it is sales. All right. So I don't know why we keep, and I love what someone brought up earlier. They said, yeah, it was Mike. He says, you know, we got to get dealerships out of silos. He's 100% right. And it's that way. It's just like saying the front of the house, the back of the house. No. We're side by side. We are a team and we grow together. And you're starting. What I love is that when I say that side by side, you're starting to see the designs of dealerships be side by side now. When it used to be literally sales in the front, that in the back. So we're a team. And man, and if we work together and we are able to synergize like the way you guys are talking about and being able to grow together, read people, help each other, use different perspectives, our dealerships are going to grow beyond what we believe. It's not about what we want. It's about what our clients need. It's a customer obsession. And what you find through time and reading people and learning from them is that they want convenience. That's why it's important to be able to team up with great companies like Fixed Ops Digital who can help your customers be able to get online and for you to be able to get online and market yourself a lot better, right? I think that's a big part of what they do. And I love what you know, that you have it in all your stores. And I know I keep going back to that. I think that there's a lot of great things out there that we can do. It's just the fact that you use something and you're trying to be different is where it's at. Guys, don't rest on your laurels. Gals, don't rest on your laurels. Try to become more and find people out there that'll help you see different perspectives, you know, so.
And the perspective that Justin brings to the table, of course, love that we have the background of law enforcement, but ultimately the purpose of having the person put on the uniform in enforcement is just to uphold the way things are supposed to go.
Right.
And not every organization has another, we're going to drop it again, has the foundation y'all have in making sure that we are consistent in what it is that we deliver. But also there's a standard. So inside of that, to the leaders that are out there that don't have it quite the way that you do, don't take the approach. They may not have people from the military service or public service that can come in here and adhere to certain values and wonder why we don't have the great results. We don't have these good stories. What would you say to them that need to, whether they read a book, listen to a podcast, or do whatever, raise the standard that they operate at so that they can see different results? What would you say to them, Justin?
It was told to me a while back, you know, if you want to go, you know, look at the person that can make you $600,000 a year or $1 million a year, you need to walk in the bathroom, close the door, and look in the mirror. It's so easy to be, and I talk to a lot of vendors and they tell me, you know, oh, you're so much more pleasant to deal with. And majority of these guys that, you know, are in fixed operations or these guys that are in corporations and VPs, they're just, you know, they're closed-minded. They don't want to be heard or talked to. And it's, you know, that's the easy thing to do. I guess it's to shut your door, never take any calls and just, you know, bury your head in a computer. But I don't think that's going to bring you a lot of change. You're not going to save your way into a profit. And so, you know, the other option is to give things a chance and, you know, to change or be forgotten about and go away. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But you've got to do things that are advantageous. Yeah, they're scary. I mean, you know, it's a big commitment to do that in all your stores, but I think it's done a great return. And I mean, it's on you too, you know, it's not, I mean, they're a partner. It's not a vendor, you know, so you got to wear some of the egg on your face if it goes sideways, you know, I mean, you sign the dotted line and it's off to the races for them and you don't have any involvement. I mean, every one of these relationships that we're in with any partnership, I wear a bit of ownership to it as well, because if my people aren't doing their part or I'm not doing my part, we're equally as to blame, and we can't fault them for failure of a tool. You know, it's only as good as you use it and the effort that you put towards it.
Brad, you got something on that?
No. I think it's fantastic that he says that, because he'll tell you that I have no problem pushing back on dealers, but it's because I've been in those shoes, right? So sometimes you have to push back to build that relationship, right? Because a lot of dealers are type A personality that do it. And so if I don't push back, then they don't think I don't care. And so it's all about reading those relationships like he's talking about. And sometimes you have to be like, bro, why are you giving me a hard time, man? I've asked you for service specials 47 times and you hadn't said that. Do it. And so I'll do stuff like that, or I'll send like a box to their house or something like that, or to their work. I'll do
of anthrax.
Yeah. Hey, I did get a text that has a question for Justin though. I did get a text. This text says, "Hey Justin, I see your beard is awesome. What are your 3 things that you do to your beard daily? From Owen Moon.
Oh. From vacation. Shooting shots. Honestly,
so can you walk us through your beard routine?
Yeah, I comb it every morning. I wake up and I put some hot water through it, and then I put Pacino's wax in my hair, and whatever's left on my hands, I do a quick one of these, and I'm off to the races.
Man, listen to that, folks. There you go. There's how you get that beard to look beautifully manicured right there.
Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that.
Yeah, there you go. That's going to be a clip right there for sure.
First thing you're going to see when you go to Foundation's website tomorrow.
Oh, man. You guys are leading the way out there, and you're doing a great job. You know, we're getting close to the end of the show, but man, I tell you, the best part that I see is that you guys are trying to do something different. You're always trying to figure out what the customer wants. You're trying to make sure that you're helping them achieve what they're trying to achieve, which is just have a reliable vehicle, make it affordable, and make sure you're not overselling me things I don't need. I think that's the problem. Much like the automotive salesperson, we deal with a stigma of we want to steal everything. We're trying to overprice everything. We're trying to do the thing. Same thing with mechanics and service reps, man. They believe that that's what's happening, especially women. Now, that's going to be the last thing I want to ask you about. What are you guys doing to help that stigma change? Because that's still a big stigma out there, is that women get in there and women are being taken advantage of, especially the older ones, right? What are you guys doing to make a difference there?
We do a lot of stuff. I think we make sure that we hire and give everyone equal opportunity. Obviously, you know, that wants to come in and exist in our dealerships. We have a huge woman presence, female presence in a lot of our stores. Henson does on the regular,
best we've ever seen,
some stuff regarding it. And we just, you know, we try to be transparent. And I tell everybody, as far as, you know, anybody that's under me that I have any type of, you know, training with, that, you know, it's these ladies that come in, if you don't give them a good, you know, understanding of what you're doing to their car, and you just hit bop, 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 this is what it needs. You do want me to call your husband? That's not the way we do business, and it's disgusting. And I would be, you know, I wouldn't want my wife talked to that way.
Heck
would you want your mother talked to that way, or your grandmother? So then why would you talk to anyone else that way? You know, you give them an understanding of what we're doing on their vehicle, give them a price, help them digest what you're going to be providing them in service. And that way they can at least make a conscious decision to say, you know, I do want to consult my significant other on this, or I do think that this is valuable and I'd like to do this and this, but I'm going to hold off on this because I'm not too entirely sure what you're talking about. And if you're not transparent and just, you know, everything I treat, I mean, even men, I treat everyone as if they've never been inside a service department. Like, I want to make sure I don't want to kill you with information, you know, and I'm going to keep it, we used to say KISS, keep it simple, stupid.
That's it.
And that may be no offense, but, you know, just enough to where you can digest what's going on with your vehicle, what we plan to do with it, and how it benefits you going down the road, because you may leave here and not notice anything. And that's just the nature of some of the services that we do. They're preventative, not, you know, it's not a repair. But, you know, just being completely transparent with all of our clientele, being completely, you know, involved in the satisfaction of it, making sure that they're happy when they leave and that they fully understand everything that was done to their vehicle before they pay their bill, because we want that to be their parting, you know, reassurance.
Yeah. That is it. Transparency is 99% of everything, my friends. And understanding that's how you build trust with people. It's how you build trust with your employees, your relationships with your wives, your children. The more transparent you are, the clearer everything is always, right? And that's the whole point of transparency, is to be perfectly clear between each other. And when there's clarity, man, there's no confusion. And when there's no confusion, people are willing to pay for the money. They're willing to allow you to even tell you what else that they can do to upgrade their vehicle, whether it's selling them more product to help them, you know, be able to have their vehicle run better, or maybe it's just them upgrading their vehicle at that time. And that's why what Brad said earlier, it's make sure you guys up front and the side to side, I shouldn't say up front, all you sales and your fixed ops people need to get together and meet and know each other and help each other. You know, one thing I do want to say is this man is right. I read an article today that showed results from a survey that found people trust salespeople with beards more than clean shaven guys. Let's mute. That's right. So all you out there with the beard, you're killing it right now. That's what I'm talking about. I got my beard loose. Sorry. That's probably why I'll close more deals. I'm just kidding. I don't know. You know, we're going to argue about that all day. But that being said, what a great show this was today, folks. Be transparent. Treat everyone like it's your mom, your sister, your brother, your father. And if you do that, you're going to have more opportunities. But most importantly, use Fixed Ops Digital.
That's right.
And if you're looking for a vehicle, all you got to do is go to Foundation Automotive. Look them up. They have dealerships all over the country right now, and they're still growing. And they will deliver to you. They do all that stuff. So just reach out to them. They have anything that you're looking for. So what a great show this was today. Justin, what's the best way for everyone to get a hold of you?
Justin P at foundationautomotive.com or 225-505-2048. I am recruiting at all times. We look for, industry leading professionals who want to be a part of our career, our community, and our family. Would love to have any calls, questions, concerns.
Heck yeah. Any parting words, Brad?
Beer tips.
No, man, I'm super glad Justin got to come on here. He cracks me up. I was also thinking, like, you got to say, when he's telling somebody to not talk down to ladies, he's a big old dude that used to be a police officer, right? They're probably going to listen, they're probably going to listen. But I think that's really important. My wife's in automotive, right? And even though she's in automotive, she probably knows more about the cars than 90% of the technicians that are in the back, right? Because she knows every single piece of every single car. And for sure, she knows about 90% more than all of the sales guys that are selling it, because she goes through all of those vehicles. So I think that that's really important, that you never know what level of intellect or knowledge that somebody has when you're talking to them. And you guys have met my wife. She doesn't look like she's a car person, but she totally is. So
she rocks.
I think that's super important. I want to thank Justin for coming on. I know we had to reschedule once because he was on vacation, but we got him. Man. And I want to thank you and Lou, Fred. And I still think that us clean-shaven guys could outsell both of you guys.
That's right.
Shoot.
That is
Justin,
right.
I think that's a challenge, bro.
I'll take that bet.
We're going to dealership. I'll stay in front, you in the back, him in the front, and I'm and he's in the back, and we see what's going on. We're going to crush it, man. We're going to do it. That would be a lot of fun. They should put that on TV. I'm telling you, we'd kill it.
Yep.
I'm not doing a boxing match with him, but
I definitely, but I'll take Justin on my team anytime, man. We appreciate you, Justin. I appreciate your time, man. Can't wait to see you again in person. Brad, appreciate you, my friend. Dude, what a great show today was. All you all out there. This was Fixed Ops Friday. You guys will see us in a couple more weeks. It did go by quick, but it always, when you're having a good time always flies, my friends.
Speaking of fly, we need to make sure that we do get on out of here when we forgive, focus, fly, and keep growing, everybody. So this is the first time we're going to have Justin forgive, focus, and fly with us. And it's just 3 simple motions. We wipe off the weight of unforgiveness. We focus on where it is that we're going, and we stretch out and fly so that we can keep growing all the time. So help us do it as we get ready to wrap up this Fixed Ops Friday. What an incredible show, everybody. On 3, Justin, hands on the shoulders, and let's begin. 1, 2, 3, forgive. Focus, fly,
and keep growing.
Keep growing.
What a great show. And you know what, Brad, you called us the A-team, right? Hey. That's right. Brad, you always bring some fire, man. Owen, we miss you, brother. We're going to bring fire when Owen comes on next. But, man, Justin, thank you for bringing the energy. Thanks for being who you are, and thanks for helping make a change in automotive right now, man. Keep growing, bro.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you, Brad, and we appreciate you car guys and car gals that have tagged this around. Make sure that you do go ahead and tag a car guy, tag a car gal if they need to hear this episode. We're so thankful for all of you, for Roger, for Mike, for Tim, for everybody, Kaylee, Angela, everybody that's been up in the party.
And all the different Facebook. I saw
William
Kobe
J.
was on earlier.
What's up?
Yeah, William J. Kobe Joyner was on. Everybody,
us.
we appreciate you guys. Be blessed. Woo. Keep growing.
We out. Peace. Fixed Ops Friday. That's what it is. That's